Troilus and Cressida. Troilus and Cressida, believed to have been written by William Shakespeare around 1602, unfolds amidst the backdrop of the Trojan War. Troilus and Cressida ignite a passionate romance within Troy. However, circumstances compel Cressida to depart for the Greek camp to join her father. Concurrently, the Greeks strive to humble the pride of the formidable Achilles. The play's mood oscillates between ribald humor and somber tragedy. Notably, Frederick S. Boas has designated it as one of Shakespeare's problem plays. Drawing from George Chapman's rendition of the Iliad and historical accounts of the Trojan War by John Lydgate and William Caxton, Troilus and Cressida serves as a transient exploration of the origins of conflict within and between the Greek and Trojan forces. Themes of love betrayed, the absence of heroic virtue, and the hollowness of honor are starkly portrayed. The narrative is also influenced by Geoffrey Chaucer's poetic tale, Troilus and Cressida. However, Shakespeare's treatment of the titular lovers and his perspective on their predicament sharply diverge from Chaucer's. Amid the tumultuous backdrop of war, Trojan prince Troilus finds his heart entwined with love for Cressida. As conflict rages on, their affections deepen. Yet, despite pledging loyalty, circumstances force Cressida to the Greek camp where she entertains the advances of another man. Troilus, heartbroken, witnesses her transgression and channels his focus into the ongoing battle. Tragedy befalls both sides, lives are lost, and the play concludes without a clear path toward resolution. Characters of the play: Troilus, a prince of Troy, the younger brother of Hector and Paris. He is a valiant warrior and an honorable man. He is also desperately in love with Cressida. Cressida, a beautiful young Trojan woman, the daughter of Calchas, a Trojan priest who defected to the Greek camp. She becomes Troilus' lover. Hector, a prince of Troy, the greatest warrior on the Trojan side and matched in might only by Achilles himself. He is a hero to his entire city and is respected even by his enemies. Ulysses, one of the Greek commanders, a highly intelligent, even philosophical man, he is renowned for his cunningness. Pandarus, Cressida's uncle, he serves as a go-between for Troilus and Cressida, acting as a kind of cheerful body pimp for his niece. Thersites, a deformed slave serving Ajax who has a vicious, abusive tongue. Achilles, the greatest of the Greek warriors, he is also an arrogant, vicious thug who refuses to fight in the war whenever his pride is injured. Ajax, a Greek warrior, he is as proud as Achilles, but less intelligent and less skilled in battle. Agamemnon, the Greek general, and the elder brother of Menelaus. Diomedes, a Greek commander who seduces Cressida. Paris, a prince of Troy. His theft of Menelaus' wife Helen precipitated the Trojan War. Menelaus, a Greek commander, Agamemnon's brother, and the abandoned husband of Helen. Helen, Menelaus' wife. Her elopement with Paris led to the Trojan War. Calchas, a Trojan priest and Cressida's father. He defected to the Greeks in the early days of the war. Aeneas, a Trojan commander. Nestor, the oldest of the Greek commanders. Cassandra, a Trojan princess and prophetess. She is considered mad. Patroclus, a Greek warrior, Achilles' best friend, and, it is suggested, his lover. Priam, the king of Troy, and the father of Hector, Paris, and Troilus, among others. Antenor, a Trojan commander. He is exchanged for Cressida after his capture by the Greeks. Helenus, a prince of Troy. Andromache, Hector's wife. Summary of the play. Act 1. During the Trojan War, King Agamemnon and his brother Menelaus preside over the Greek encampment. They work along with their counselors Ulysses and Nestor. Their great soldier Achilles is refusing to fight. Instead, Achilles complains about his Greek commanders with his friend, perhaps more than a friend, Patroclus. In Troy, King Priam argues with his sons Hector and Paris. Paris had stolen Menelaus' wife Helen 7 years previously, starting the Trojan War. The arguments concerned whether they should return Helen and end the conflict, but they decide to continue fighting. The princess's sister, Cassandra, prophesies destruction for all. Their younger brother Troilus is increasingly distracted from the conflict. He has met and fallen in love with a woman called Cressida, whose father Calchas has defected to the Greek camp. The Trojan warrior Hector challenges Greece to send its mightiest warrior for one on one combat. Act 2 to 3. Cressida's uncle Pandarus assists Troilus and Cressida to consummate their union by sleeping together. Cressida's father arranges to exchange his daughter for a Trojan prisoner during the same night. Despite her protests, Cressida is sent away to join her father. Cressida swears eternal loyalty to Troilus. The commanders answer Hector's challenge by sending Ajax rather than Achilles on the Greek side. They hope that this will hurt Achilles' pride and ignite a desire to fight within him. But Hector withdraws from the fight because Ajax is related to his family. Meanwhile, the enslaved Greek Thersites rails against all mankind and the stupidity of war and conflict. In Act 4, in the Greek camp, a prince named Diomedes befriends Cressida. At that same time, Troilus has secretly left Troy to seek her. Cressida does not know, and she responds to Diomedes' friendship. Troilus and Ulysses overhear their encounter. Heartbroken, Troilus realizes that Cressida has broken her vows of faithfulness. He returns to the city to fight against the Greeks. In Act 5, in the final battle, Hector kills Patroclus, motivating Achilles to join the fighting finally. While initially overcome by Hector, Achilles succeeds in trapping him. Hector, unarmed, is slaughtered by Achilles' troop of soldiers. Troilus swears revenge for his brother's death and also inwardly for the loss of Cressida and his youthful innocence. Pandarus, Cressida's uncle, cynically ends the play. He sees no hope for a world where politics overrule the desires and needs of the individual. Themes of the play. Troilus and Cressida grapples with the theme of appearance versus reality. Troilus' idealized perception of Cressida contrasts starkly with her true self, leading to his heartbreak. Hector's observation of the superficial armor masking inner decay serves as a metaphor for the entire war's misguided heroism. The play critiques the glorified narrative of the Trojan War, which stems from a trivial affair. Thersites offers a cynical commentary on appearances and surprises, finding honor only in Hector. Ajax, misunderstood and manipulated, exemplifies the dual-faced nature of the characters and their conflicting realities. In Troilus and Cressida, Shakespeare diverges from Homer's grand depiction of the legendary Trojan War, offering a stark portrayal of its grim realities. The play unveils the futility and the tragic toll of conflict. Hector's disillusionment is evident as he questions the purpose of waging war over Helen, recognizing the senseless loss of lives. Shakespeare imbues Hector with a modern perspective on warfare, contrasting with the traditional epic hero. Diomedes echoes this sentiment, repulsed by the widespread bloodshed and deeming Helen's worth to be questionable. Thersites voices a similar sentiment, likening the war to a futile struggle among rival factions. Few seem truly invested in the battle, as Menelaus, Paris, Ajax, and Troilus stand out as exceptions. The conflict between Diomedes and Troilus, akin to a microcosm of the larger war, mirrors the overarching pointlessness. Cressida, paralleling Helen's unfaithfulness, further accentuates the sense of futility. The play exposes the emptiness of pursuing shallow victories, underscoring the disillusionment and waste inherent in such endeavors. In Troilus and Cressida, Shakespeare delves into the theme of honor or its absence and deconstructs the traditional heroic archetype. The play subverts heroic expectations, casting figures like Achilles, Ajax, and Ulysses in unflattering and often manipulative roles. Thersites critiques Ajax's hypocrisy and envy, while Ulysses cunningly exploits the enmity between Achilles and Ajax for his own agenda. Ulysses orchestrates deceitful acts, blurring the lines of traditional chivalry. The theme of manipulated love surfaces as well, as Troilus and Cressida's relationship is fueled by external influences, echoing the manipulated affair of Paris and Helen. Hector stands as a beacon of true heroism, advocating for peace and displaying honorable conduct even towards his adversaries. Achilles' action shatters the heroic ideal. Despite a reprieve granted by Hector, he attacks and slays Hector while he is defenseless, dismantling notions of valor. Troilus' descent into revenge further erodes his heroic qualities, paralleling Menelaus' pursuit of retribution. In essence, Troilus and Cressida dismantles conventional notions of heroism, exposing the complexities and contradictions that underlie the concept of honor.